Have you ever wondered in the middle of the night, what if we had wings? Life would be so much easier. No more traffic jams, no speeding tickets, no fuel costs, and no car maintenance. A faster, cheaper, and smoother way to travel. But wait, there are over 200 species of birds that do have wings and still can't fly. So, would we be one of them? Is it just a matter of weight? I know what you're thinking. Weight can't be the problem. Look at airplanes, massive flying machines soaring through the sky. So what's the secret? Welcome to Midnight Reflections, where curiosity never sleeps. Let's find out. Where curiosity never sleeps. Let's dive into the real reason humans and many other creatures can't fly. Why can't we do it? What's stopping us? And what would we need to change to make it possible? Well, to start with, the most essential thing we'd need is wings. Wings are the key mechanism behind flight. They're what give birds and planes the ability to stay stable and balanced in the air. You see, our atmosphere doesn't naturally allow objects to float or stay suspended. Unless they have a large surface area that can push back against the air and generate lift, that's what wings do. We can see this principle in gliders and bird wings. Gliders, for example, are simple aircraft with no engine, just wide wings and air brakes. Yet, they can soar through the sky for long periods. Why? Because they rely purely on the physics of wings and airflow. So, does that mean wings are the only thing we need to fly? Actually, no. There's still one very important ingredient missing for a successful flight: energy. Or more precisely, the power source that allows those wings to flap quickly and rhythmically, so we can stay airborne. You see, even if we had perfect wings, balanced, aerodynamic, and capable of generating lift, we still wouldn't be able to keep flying unless we had the energy to keep those wings moving. That's the second critical requirement for flight: a consistent energy supply. Think back to what we mentioned earlier about gliders. They're the perfect example of flight with wings, but no engine. Gliders can stay in the air for a while, sure, but only under very specific wind conditions. They can't climb higher by themselves. They slowly lose altitude, second by second, until they eventually return to the ground. So, while they do fly, they don't have the power to keep themselves in the air forever. Their goal is to glide for as long as possible using air currents, not to maintain constant powered flight. And that brings us to the core of flight. Any flying creature or machine needs two essential things: wings and energy. That's the magical combo behind every flight you've ever seen. Sure, there are other factors too, like balance, wing shape, and body design. But without those two, you're not going anywhere. Now, let's suppose we somehow had the perfect wings. They're shaped just right. They're strong. They're perfectly attached to our arms, or maybe even replace our arms. Would that finally be enough? Could we fly? In reality, even though it sounds simple, we wouldn't actually be able to flap our arms up and down fast enough or strong enough to achieve flight. The energy we'd need just isn't there. At best, we'd end up gliding for a few seconds, before slowly sinking back down to the ground, just like a human-shaped glider. But why is that? Well, energy, or more accurately power, is crucial to flight. Anyone can strap on wings, but not everyone has the power to move them effectively. Now here's something interesting. Flying is extremely energy-intensive, even for birds. Most birds actually spend the majority of their day foraging for food, just to get enough energy to fly. That's right. Flight burns calories like crazy. So, if a human wanted to fly like a bird, we'd need massive amounts of energy and food, probably spending most of our lives just eating. We're talking triple, maybe quadruple our normal intake, just to stay in the air. Let's try thinking differently. What if we build something like a glider, but bigger? That way we've got the wings part covered. Now, to check the second box, energy. We add a strong engine to our design. Boom! Now we have a consistent power source that keeps us airborne. And that, my friend, was the foundation of the very first airplane. Its design was based on Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Push air backward hard enough, and you move forward through the sky. So, in simple terms, the airplane's wings push the air downward. But air doesn't like being pushed. It pushes back, and that upward push, that's what lifts the plane into the sky. But wait, that's not the whole story. We still need something to boost the lift even more. That's where the engine and some clever wing design come in. The engine propels the airplane forward at high speed, which causes air to rush quickly around the wings. That fast-moving air generates additional lift, allowing the plane to rise, even with its heavy weight. Now the engine and wings work together like a dream team. One pushes forward, the other lifts up, but we're still not done. Here's where it gets cool. The shape of the airplane wing plays a huge role. The top part of the wing is curved, while the bottom part is flat. This aerodynamic design helps the wing cut through the air efficiently. When the plane moves through the air, the curved upper surface causes air to spread out and move faster. Meanwhile, the air under the wing moves slower. This difference in speed creates a pressure difference, with lower pressure above the wing and higher pressure below it. That pressure difference generates even more lift. The faster the plane goes, the greater the lift becomes. So, for a plane to take off, it needs forward thrust from the engine and lift from the wings, which push air down and keep the plane balanced in the sky. And fun fact, when it's time to land, all the pilot has to do is slow down the engines. That reduces the lift, and gravity takes care of the rest, bringing the plane gently back down to Earth. So, isn't it time you took off too? Fly over to that like, share, and subscribe button. Now you know. Got more midnight questions? Drop them in the comments. Stay curious, and I'll see you in another Midnight Mystery.